Catch 'em in the pasture, run 'em in the pen, work 'em on the Sundays, do it all again. Race 'em in the sand, buck 'em in the mud, drip a cowboy's sweat, bleed a cowboy's blood.
I'm Zeke Thurston, 2016 World Champion Saddlebrock Rider, and you're watching The Peppered Stewart Show.
What is happening? Does anyone know? I don't think we do. I don't think anyone knows anything anymore. But we're here to tell you about stuff today. As you know or not, we film these live, so it may or may not happen. We may have a surprise guest today. We may or may not. Depends on how the chips fall, as they say. So we'll let you know. We got a lot of stuff happening today. We're going to talk about some missing cattle somewhere in Texas. The World's Greatest Horseman is coming up. If you hadn't entered already, I think the deadline was today. The Texas Southwestern Cattle Convention is coming up also in March. So PBR news broke. That is kind of what we were going to talk about or maybe get a hold of on the line. So we're going to tell you about that. Comic books, baseball cards, China, fine China. You collect stuff. Do you collect it? How much would you pay for it? We're going to dive into that. Chicken houses. It's cold outside. Make sure your chickens are warm or make sure your chickens are safe. We'll tell you about that. What are you watching on TV? We've been watching some stuff. We're going to talk about, show you some trailers for a couple of things. And do not forget that you need to get your tickets right now to the American Rodeo. It's about to happen in a month or two.
The American Western Weekend. 2 nights of Western sports and live entertainment. Deep in the heart of Texas. March 8th and 9th, Globe Life Field. Friday night, the American Performance Horsemen with a concert by Luke Bryan. Saturday night, the American Rodeo. Witness the thrill of non-stop rodeo action. Music headliner to be revealed. The American Western Weekend. March 8th and 9th. On sale December 6th at AmericanRodeo.com.
Okay, get your tickets to that. Check it out. It's going to be a good time, as always. With that, I'm here. Randy's here.
I am. And it's my birthday.
What?
Jamie. Yeah.
Does that even happen? Birthdays?
Sometimes.
Birthdays still happen.
Yeah. Here we go. Just a little birthday break. Okay.
There you go. There you go. The balloons are flying. Balloons are flying. Just don't let your balloons go outside. I got a video for that too on the internet. Balloons. Balloons are bad. Don't let them go. People, stop letting balloons go because they land in my field.
Oh.
And the amount of wildlife and livestock they kill every year is a lot. So quit releasing your balloons out into the atmosphere. They don't go to Jesus with the dead folks because a lot of folks have been dying lately. They don't go up there. They go up, they come down, they get eaten by raccoon, squirrels, maybe a little rabbit, deer, Bambi. You want Bambi to eat a balloon and die? Then keep letting balloons go.
On a lighter note, if they're cold, you're cold.
Yeah.
Does that apply to your horses? I know you've got a whole stance on blanket, don't blanket, inside, outside. But it's been cold.
It has.
It's been especially cold in Nebraska.
All right.
There's a woman who allowed her horses into her living room to get them out of the cold.
I don't.
I don't know how long they were inside. The picture we have, I can't tell if that's just a glare from the light or maybe looks kind of like a bandana on the darker horse, or if that's snow that they've tracked in with them. But
yeah, probably look like some snow. They've tracked in. You gotta be careful from that snow. Everybody always talks about snow and like, man, if you not had any snow, I'm like, yeah, but it's cold in your nose.
I just, when you have horses and you're thinking about the things that you need and the place you need and maybe a barn, was that her plan? Just I'll bring them inside.
I want to know about the cleanup on this deal. At least they are shown on the hardwood floors. So maybe, nothing on the carpet.
Yeah, I guess the carpet would be hard to clean. I'd be worried about the floors, though.
Could you imagine
weight or dents? Or...
Could you imagine a puppy dog on carpet? Then you put a horse in there.
I mean, I got a puppy on carpet. I'd rather have carpet, but I'm aware that there's extra cleaning involved and different cleaning. But...
Yeah, but I don't know. I just got so many questions because I'm wondering. Does she not have a barn? Does she not have a place to put them? I know it's really cold, and the other question is, how long are you new to horses? Have you had them for a while? Is this like a new thing? There's so many questions involved.
I don't know. Maybe she didn't want them to feel lonely out in the barn by themselves, so she brought them into the home.
I wonder what other animals she had in the house.
Not sure.
Because could you imagine?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Get a yapping dog in there barking the whole time because the horse is standing there.
I don't know. I wonder if there's any other animals that she has that she did leave outside that she chose to bring the horses inside, but other animals stay out. I'm sure she didn't leave other animals outside if she went to the extent of bringing the horses inside.
She left her husband outside.
He said, if you're bringing the horses in, I'm going.
Kicked him out. No room.
I mean, I'd pick the horses too, so don't blame me for that.
Always the horse.
I've got another similar animal story out of Australia. So this one involves chickens.
Chickens? Are they upside down?
No, but there's a chicken coop. So they did have their own inside outside of the home.
Not in the living room with the horse?
Not in the living room, but the homeowners went out there to check on them. They found a crocodile. They had to call out the Department of Environment, Science, and Innovation. They sent out wildlife officers. They did identify. No, it's not a large lizard like you initially thought. It's a crocodile. And all the animals and pets living on the property were accounted for.
So he wasn't feeding.
Yeah, not looking for a snack, just a cozy place to stay.
Just hiding out, okay. Yeah. All right. The Crocs. I wonder if the chickens had on Crocs. Have you seen those? Those Crocs for chickens?
No.
They put Crocs on chickens, and they also put little tiny arms on them.
I've seen the arms.
You seen the little tiny arms?
Yeah,
little tiny arms of chickens right now. I'm gonna punch somebody. Yes.
Little muscle man arms.
Speaking of the cows are missing. There's a cow missing down in South Texas. I know I got it somewhere around there. There is a black motley-faced cow missing in Hallettsville, Texas. The Texas Southwestern Cattlery Association Special Ranger Robert Fields in Southeast Texas reports the black motley-faced cow is missing in Lavaca County near Road 14. She's got a yellow ear tag, number 36, in the left ear, and a covered Lazy R brand on the left hip. She was last seen December 19th. So, this is January the 18th. So a month. So this cow's been missing for a month. So you're only checking on your cows once a month. That's probably why they're missing.
Okay, I was going to ask, is this an older report, or we're just realizing that we haven't seen this cow for a month?
Yeah, they just realized the cow's missing. So why have you not been checking on your cows? You got to check on your cows daily or at least weekly, because if not, that can happen.
Would you bring the cows inside the house?
No. But
that's worse than the horse, right?
But I do have some pictures. I need to find them. We did bring some baby calves in the house. I got pictures of that. Because sometimes when it's cold and they pop them out in the winter, you got to bring them in and warm them up. Because that is another story I was going to get to, but I forgot to bring it today. It was about your cattle and winter time. But I didn't bring it. So what else do we have there? Since it's cold, we'll go to the lake.
The lake.
Go to the lake.
Pretend it's summer.
It's cold. Everybody thinks summertime. Everybody thinks summer. Although I did see a post from one of the groups on the lake out there where some lady said that her jet ski went missing in the last storm and was found tied up somewhere else and no one notified her it was gone. But I'm like, how would they know that you didn't just come take it home? Did you go into the office when you take something out, tell them I'm taking something out? No, you don't tell them when you take your boat out. So they probably figured she took it home for the winter.
Right. Yeah.
So she was upset. But it happens. The other story that's going on now is this announcement that came out yesterday on Lake Texoma. Construction on a new Hard Rock hotel is set to begin in March near the Texoma border. The hotel is going up on the Oklahoma side of Lake Texoma. Land's cheaper in Oklahoma. And will be part of a 2,700-acre resort community up there at the Point Vista, where they're working on some stuff over there, a little community. Point Vista is going to be over there with that. You're going to have the signature guitar entrance, guest room, suites, a conference center for weddings, corporate events. Also calls for a casino, which the other report I've seen after this is a casino may not be on the property because of the casino legality stuff. So it's going to be near, probably like next door. For the casino, you got a golf course, which is already there. I saw that on Google Maps. There's a golf course. They're going to have a marina, indoor water park, family entertainment center, spa, fitness center, rooftop bar, restaurant. They're going to bring in some white sand to create a beach-style amenities. Say that 3 times fast. Along with the Lake Texoma shoreline. It's going to create more than 9,000 jobs in the area, and it's not going to open up until 2026. So from now until 2026, no one will ever think about it again until we mention it in 2026.
Start planning a little vacation there. That sounds nice.
But the only thing, which I saw this story and I was like, man, I switched to marinas because I was in the Eisenhower Yacht Club and I moved down to Flowing Wells, and it was close. It's going to be closer to the Eisenhower Marina on that side of Texoma near Kingston, Oklahoma. But I think I'll still go check it out and see. I did stay in one in Orlando one time. And that was all right, I guess. The Hard Rock Hotel. Did they still have one here in Dallas or not anymore?
I have no idea.
What was
I've
the
never
thing?
been to one.
What was the thing that used to be down here in the 90s in the West End?
That's the Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh,
The one right next to Hooters.
Don't remember.
Yeah.
This was the 90s.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was longer ago than I thought.
Yeah.
It was in the 90s.
I'm not entirely sure if it's still there anymore. It may have been purchased and bought out, but at least when I worked at the West End, that's what it was. It was the Hard Rock Cafe.
Okay, I remember Hard Rock something down there. I haven't been down there since the 90s, so I don't know.
I hadn't been there in 10 years. So.
I just remember that. I remember there used to be bands that played out in the streets.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was like some kind of arcade thing or something on the bottom floor of some building over there.
There was the arcade thing across the street. It was like by Gators, by that Spaghetti Warehouse.
Yeah, there was Spaghetti Warehouse over there. Okay, yeah.
There was the candy store over there. So, yeah. But it's not like that anymore. That's for sure.
I haven't been there since the 90s. I don't want to count how many years that's been. I'm just saying.
It was only 5 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't long at all.
No, it's yesterday.
But that was good times. We mentioned the Texas Southwestern Cavalry Association event. I need to get that out of the way, and then we'll dive into what happened with the PBR. The Cattle Raiders Convention is going to be March 22nd through the 24th, Friday. Open registration is open on Thursday, but you just go on the internet and you can order your pass or days, however you want to do it, because you can just get a pass just to go to the expo where you can just walk around to all the different booths and load up on a bunch of stuff they give away. And then they also have classes and things that you can attend if you would like to. Friday, it opens early in the morning at 7 a.m. When it opens, they're going to have some conversations. They're going to talk about traceability, which we've dove into that a few different times here. Miss on regenerative grazing. We had that guy on the show. He's still doing that stuff. They're going to be a cattle dog demo where you can go watch the dogs work the cows. They're going to talk about alternative energies. They're going to have shoot stuff. What is groundwater? I guess they're probably talking about that water stuff that we mentioned a while back where the government was trying to control how much water used on your own property. If you had a well on your own property that you could dig a hole, put in your own water well, and they wanted to put a meter on it. So you
For
had to
water
pay.
that you already own.
Yeah. They want to put a meter on it and pay them for your own water.
Yeah, that sounds like a mess.
Yeah. So I guess we're talking about that again. You can also unlock your cow herd potential through estrus synchronization. You can have them all estrusized at once. Could you imagine the pain in the butt those cows are going to be all at one time? Feral hog study. There's meetings, reduce stress on working your cows. There's a whole bunch of stuff they're doing on Friday. Saturday is not as much stuff is happening, but anyway, go to the internet, look it up. Texas Southwestern Cattlery Association. Google is your friend, and they will tell you. There's all different kinds of packages you can get. If you're from further out of town, there's even a package where you can get a hotel room nearby. So look that up.
Okay, what do we got? Yeah, I guess. So you collect things? I heard about this. You
Collecting
told me about this, and I am shocked, I tell you, at the amount.
I used to, back in the old days, we used to collect baseball cards. That was in the 80s. That was before the 90s, by the way. We collected baseball cards and stuff for a while, and then as I got a little older, I quit messing with it. I didn't mess with it as much, so I kind of lost interest in it. But from what I understand, that collecting is a big deal.
It is, yeah. Comic books and that memorabilia there's a big market for that as well. There's a copy of The Amazing Spider-Man #1 from March 1963.
Is this the first one?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So, it says #1. I don't know enough about it. That means number one.
Too bad Spider-Man's not here to ask.
Oh, that's so true. But it was record-breaking. You know what the amount was? Do you want to guess? Or what would you have thought it was?
For an old book, if I was buying
An old book. Okay, well, I think you may have.
An old comic, collector's value, maybe $1,500.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna let that old book comment slide right past.
Try probably like what, $60,000.
Okay, you're getting closer. You're getting warmer.
More than 60,000?
Yeah, you're not on fire yet. So it was near mint/mint condition.
Did they ever read it?
I'm not sure the details on it. I just know it was graded near mint.
How many times do you read a comic book?
Not. I guess if you hang on to it and you don't read it and you keep it perfect.
Do you just read it once and then put it up?
So if you do that, you might be able to sell it.
Okay.
What is this? 60 years later for $1.38 million.
What? Why?
Million. I know that those go for a lot. The previous record was set. I'm not sure. Was it Superman? I'm not sure who set the previous record, but that one was 520,000, which still seems
that's still a lot.
A lot. I mean,
man.
I guess if you have it and it's nothing, I wonder who this went to that spent that much on this comic book.
Who?
And will they read it?
Is that going to be? It's got to be somebody that's into that superhero stuff, right? Like Marvel's people or whatever those.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't buy it at all if you weren't into it.
But who makes those? Who's the guy I'm thinking of that makes all those movies, all the superhero movies?
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person here.
Huh?
Stanley?
I don't know. I thought that was a cup that all these white women went crazy for at Target.
Stanley, really a cup?
Yeah,
You're full of the dad jokes.
Jeez.
Stanley's a cup. I saw it.
Stan Lee, not Stanley.
okay.
Stan Lee.
Not Flat Stanley.
As if me
No, not
pronouncing
Black
it.
Stanley.
Lee.
Because that's the only thing. That's the only thing I think of. You've got to be somebody of that caliber that's just got money to waste. I go buy that for $1.5 million. No big deal.
It's really important to you. It's your rosebud.
Yeah.
You've got to have. Yeah.
It's like this has got to go to my collection. But not my collection, because I'm not. I don't know the comic book thing. I never got into that.
Is there a baseball card that you would pay $1.38 million for if you had it?
No, maybe $10. Maybe $10 because there's an auction I was watching the other day, and they had some old. There was like some old Troy Aikman rookie cards and Emmitt Smith rookie cards. If I was watching that, then when it got over $10, I was like, no, I'm out. Probably sold for like $30.
I'm not a fan. I've never collected cards, but I am a true crime fan, and I think I would want the one from the NBA game where the Menendez brothers were sitting on the sideline. That's probably the only one that I'd be excited to find.
True crime. We've got to talk about crime because I watch on Max. I've talked about this last time. I didn't go home and write them down. I was going to write them down. I was going to send them somewhere. I may or may not have, of all the shows that I watched, the crime shows. I can't remember any of them now.
See, that happens to me. I get really into a show while I'm watching it, but once I'm done, it's out of my brain. Boom, move on. Next show. I
don't remember. I do think I messaged them over there somewhere, but I can't remember what the shows were called.
None of them?
No. My mind goes blank. I watched tons of it, and my mind goes blank, and I can never remember.
So you sent me, because I actually watched one of them. I don't remember which one, but you sent me Real Time Crime.
Yes.
Fear Thy Neighbor,
Okay.
The Garden, Commune or Cult, American Monsters, The Murder Tapes. So I canceled Netflix recently, but if any of these are not on Netflix, I'm definitely going to watch them. I
think they're on Max. I think some of them are on Max. Some of them are on. They're all on different things, but that's the names of them. Okay, so those are good.
Yeah. And I'll plug a little website that I love to use all the time. It's called justwatch.com. You can type in a show name and it will search it across all platforms and tell you like which one's cheapest, where you can see it, where you can't. I use that site all the time. Just Watch. It's like JUSTWATCH.com.
Oh. But yeah, so if you're into those motor shows, all those, I don't remember what she just said.
All those shows.
The Fear of the Neighbor, that one started out real strong. I mean, those guys were killing each other over the stupidest things.
I'll have to check that
and
out.
it was just, some of the stuff was just so dumb that they fought about that it was insane. But it's like in their minds, it just drove them so crazy to kill each other. And it shows in a couple of these. What I like about these shows is seeing the real footage. Because like one of the neighbors, you have the security cam footage of that. You get 911 tapes. You get body cam video, and then on some of them, there was one of the guys that would set up his VHS recorder in the windows filming outside.
Is it like a documentary style, or is it like recreation with that kind of like
it's
filtered
kind
in?
of it's kind of both.
Okay.
They've got the real footage. They've got actors portraying the people, but then they have the real footage of people, and the ones that are still alive, they have them telling their story.
Telling their story. Okay.
And that's pretty good. The American Monsters, I think, is more of a serial killer type thing, and then the other ones I can't remember what you said. So. So I don't know.
I am excited for Traitors. I have not seen that. I just found out about it. I'm a huge fan of Big Brother, so that sounds like that is right up my alley. I need to see Traitors.
Do you have Traitors over there to throw out something to tickle the eyeballs?
I do.
Okay, so Traitors, I didn't know how old the show was because I just got Peacock to try Peacock. And it's on Peacock. And I seen it and I was like, oh, that seems interesting. Let's see what it is. So I watched the entire 11 episodes of the Traitors US version, which if you're going to watch these, you watch that one first. You've got Traitors US, then it goes to Traitors UK, and then Traitors Australia. And then season number 2 of Traitors US just came out. So now I've got to watch it. But it's very entertaining.
Deep in the Scottish Highlands, there's a castle where the faithful reside. Their goal? Win $250,000. But hidden amongst them are 3 traitors. Exciting, isn't it? You will need the strength of a lion and the stealth of a fox.
You might know me from The Bachelor.
I am from Survivor.
Big Brother All-Stars.
Below Deck.
I know if I was a traitor right now, I would be a wreck.
You're gonna confront her when you're saying her name all day?
Honey, I'm looking for every excuse to get you gone.
Mom! I think you're a traitor. I think you're a traitor.
I trusted you. I'm telling you, either banish me or murder me. I'm done.
Close the coffins. In this game, the person sitting next to you may smile and smile and be a villain.
I wouldn't pick that outfit, so I don't think I trust your judgment completely.
Let's talk about that.
I can manipulate them.
Did you think I'm a traitor?
Game faces are on.
There are traitors amongst you. Do you know who they are? So trust no one. And you thought the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was bad.
All right, so that was just one of those things that when I'm looking on the TV to watch whatever, because I watched that, and I started watching Poker Face. I watched a couple of those with the girl from American Pie. I can't think what her name is, but she has some kind of deal where she can tell somebody's lying. So each episode has its own little storyline, and that was pretty good. But I started watching Traitors, and then watched all 3 versions of that. So I don't want to run it for you, but they have 20 people in there, and then 3 people get picked as traitors. The job of everyone is to vote them out. Whoever gets to the end of the game wins the money. But if a traitor makes it to the end of the game, they get all the money. So the entire time, everybody is trying to pretend that they're not the traitor.
Yeah, that sounds.
And
I'm definitely going to go home.
Oh, it's so crazy.
Look this up. 'Cause like I said, I've always been a huge fan of Big Brother, which has a similar kind of like having to manipulate and get people voted out. But now it's that plus you have to vote out. You have to figure out who's who and vote them out, not just anybody. So
yeah, and it's and they every night they have a round table where they all sit around, discuss, and they vote somebody out. And then that night, the traitors get together and they murder someone. And so a lot of times these murders are kind of strategic with all the backbiting. So
I mean, if someone's on to you,
so you can go murder someone. So what happens a lot of times? We don't give too much away, but you can judge by what's happening in the round tables, and you've got somebody you want to get rid of. Well, you go that night, you murder this person. Since that person got murdered, bam, they think they're the traitor now. So they vote somebody else out that they think because there was something wrong with them.
See, I was
And
thinking
so,
the
yeah.
opposite strategy. I was thinking, well, if someone's on to you, then you need to make sure that they're murdered before they spread more of that gossip.
And they do that too. But yeah, it's, man, I don't know, it's good. And I never really cared for reality TV, but of course I didn't know it was reality TV when I started watching it first.
I feel like I want to sign up for Peacock to watch the show just for the narrator. That accent is great.
It's funny. He does that one. I guess each one has somebody different, but he does the U.S. version. And the U.S. version and the U.K. version is both set at the same place in Scotland.
Okay.
And so it's pretty neat. Big old mansion they're in. But entertainment. All right, enough of that. What else do we have to discuss? We did Spider-Man. I guess we need to do the PBR. I need to get into the PBR stuff. Let me tell you about this. It broke today. Breaking news today. We were going to talk to Paulo Crimber today, but it was still kind of up in the air. So, breaking news not happening. So that's why I didn't tell you, because I didn't want to let you down. So here we go. Florida Freedom, part of the PBR's teams, has named 10-time World Finals qualifier Paulo Crimber as the head coach. So he's now the head coach of the Florida Freedom. Did we talk about this a while back about somebody changed? They moved towns.
We did, and they took the logo with them.
They swapped the logo. Just a few weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know if this did it because I don't watch the team stuff. Maybe this, I don't know. But so anyway, Paulo Crimber has taken over as the head coach of Florida Freedom, which I believe it might have been Cord McCoy before, when it was Oklahoma. That makes sense because Oklahoma Freedom, Cord McCoy lives in Oklahoma. So if they're going to Florida, why would you go to Florida if you live in Oklahoma? Makes sense, right?
I mean, people move.
Yeah. So Paulo, which is a proven winner, 10-time world finalist qualifier, a legend in the Brazilian sports. He's a teacher, coach, a mentor, family man. For someone living the real-life American dream, there's no better place than the Florida Freedom, is what Heath Freeman said, the owner of the Freedom. Paulo Crimber, which grew up in Brazil, came to America to compete here and has since become a citizen, is now an American citizen, along with those of you from back in the old days remember a friend of the show, Guilherme Marchi. He also, a lot of those guys from Brazil went through the process and got their paperwork done to become an American citizen. So there is a way to do that other than just walking through the water. So check it out, see what is happening. The next event for them is when? When's the next event for the Freedom? I thought I saw that a while ago. August 2nd through the 4th will be their highly anticipated homestand, so be sure and check that out as Florida Freedom plans to make waves in PBR teams. Happens.
I was just looking. We see that third season of 5-on-5 bull riding games in July, culminating with the 2024 Teams Championship in Las Vegas. Which reminds me, did you see you can no longer stop and stand and take a picture in the middle of the walkways out in Vegas?
No.
You'll get a ticket.
Huh.
You'll get a ticket. I believe it's quite a bit.
So what do the hookers do?
Well, I'm wondering if maybe that's why they made this law. Maybe that's what they were aiming at, because you cannot stop, stand, or engage in any activity that causes another person to stop. Because there's crowds. I mean, it's kind of annoying. You're walking along, the person in front of you just stops.
Yeah, because I would imagine, of course, I've never been up there to Vegas, but I've seen pictures on the internet and TV. So it does appear that if you are driving through Vegas, you're going to be staring out the window, looking at this building, that building, and everything else. Yeah. So you're more likely to run someone over.
I guess, but yeah, you could face, if you do stop, pause, impede the flow of the walking traffic, you could face up to 6 months in jail or a $1,000 fine. Seems excessive. Maybe just move out of the way and don't do it next time.
Yeah,
but I guess
there's got to be. I'm sure in Vegas they've got certain places you can go stand for, to get that shot.
I mean, yeah, you're always out in front of the Bellagio with the water fountain, and there's spots which maybe if you're off to the side, it's not really clear. I hope there's a lot of leeway in, hey, it's okay for you to stand over to the side. But I totally get the frustration when you're just trying to walk down a hallway or down a sidewalk and it's crowded and then someone is just going so slow. It's the most frustrating thing ever. So maybe I support this a little bit.
Yeah, I support that everywhere. Get out of the road, people standing there. Get out of my way, especially right now. Man, every time I come down here, it seems like there's more people and traffic is worse.
Yeah.
Every time. Traffic is terrible.
I feel like I had to go all the way around Dallas today to get here. It was, I don't know if something was going on in my normal drive-in or what, but maybe just everybody got excited because the ice went away and we can finally go somewhere. Everybody's out.
I'm like, let's go. I got to go get something to eat. I can drive now. They can get out and go load their bulls and go to Fort Worth. And that is what happens. With the new partnership, it broke last year. We've talked about it a few times with Cole Hauser from Yellowstone, which that also puts another thing in my head about the T-shirt deal. But Cole Hauser with the PBR and has done a partnership where he's kind of becoming a spokesman for PBR, and so they've put out this video trailer, and to kind of bring, I guess you're bringing more fans in and more exposure to kind of promote what's coming up. So I don't know, check it out and see what you think.
You can never rid the human soul of its desire to run free. Not in this country. We all have our journeys that we cannot shy away from. Come on, old friend. Let's go. There's an undeniable and resilient spirit that dominates this land. An endless horizon that holds the dreams of our ancestors. A promise. A responsibility etched in the backbone and blood of the people of this great country. Arenas are built. Families, a culture, a nation are brought together to witness an epic showdown. For bulls and their riders, these journeys started before they were even born. Competition is in their lineage. It's in their blood. It's an instinct to confront one another. For a bull rider, there can be no anger. There can be no hate. Only respect. and passion. A moment from which there is no return. It's not a brawl. It's an ancient dance. Two forces of nature colliding in harmony as they have for hundreds and hundreds of years before. And what happens in those 8 seconds can create legacies that span for generations. To conquer without risk is to triumph without glory. This is America. And this is the PBR.
The PBR, so check it out. And if you are a PBR fan, PBR fans have seen what has happened on the internet, what has broke, the challenge that has happened. So a while back, we had a message at PBR, I guess PBR World Finals, I believe it was the finals, from Dana White about his bull Twisted Steel. So for you MMA, is it? I'm probably gonna get it wrong. MMA, UFC, one of those fighting wrestling deals that Dana White's involved in. At one of the PBR events the last couple of weeks, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that, Cowboy Cerrone challenged Dana White, throwing some money out, that he could ride his bull. So sometime coming up, this challenge is going to actually happen.
All right. Yeah, I was going to ask, did he accept the challenge, and is that set up?
So they're working on it. I know a lot of people saying you might want to go do a little training.
Yeah.
Maybe learn a few things, and so it's gonna be entertaining to see, because if you remember back a few years ago, the NFL receiver Ocho Cinco thought he could do that and ride a bull at the PBR, and about a second and a half it was done. So didn't go his way either. So I'm curious to see how this plays out.
And I wonder, how much research has he done on it? Yeah. Or was it just, I could do that, and just showed up, so no preparation?
I think
maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe
I don't know what he's thinking. Maybe his head is going nuts. Maybe his head's stuck in outer space. I don't know.
I think we'll be surprised. I'm not gonna put bad energy out there for him. I'm not a fan either way, but I wish him well. I know the show, switching gears, we like to talk about aliens sometimes.
Yes.
Aliens. I've got 2 alien stories, technically. The first one, the War of the World situation, where there was a Samsung drone show to promote the release of a new device. I believe it was of the S24, and they did a drone show outside of London.
Okay.
One of, I guess, the images, is that what you would call it? One of the designs that it formed was of a UFO coming down over to the river.
All right.
There were some calls. We've got a photo there. I mean, it does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks like it came out of a sci-fi movie.
All right. So they call, what is it?
Well, they didn't call 911.
They called 999. So did 999 get a lot of calls?
I'm not sure how many calls, but the internet reports that they got some. But it was a promotion. It didn't stay looking like a UFO the whole time. It switched to Galaxy S4 and a phone. And I believe they're using a lot of the footage for maybe one of their ads that's going to be floating around.
With a commercial.
That you'll see every now and then, I'm sure.
Okay.
And now every time you see that, you're going to think, haha, somebody thought that was a UFO. The more local story out of Kentucky. Kentucky City is beaming a message into space, inviting the extraterrestrials to stop by.
Are they using a Samsung?
That's a good question. I feel like I just want to stop there at the headline. I'm like, beam a message out? Okay. I mean, there's a debate there if we really want to invite them, but inviting them is the...
Yeah, what is your...
Is that what we want to do? I mean, if they're advanced enough to get that message and do something about it.
How are they going to know? What are you sending it in? Are you sending it in a text? Did you write it? Is it in English? Is it Latin? What? How did you send it? Is it just Morse codes? A little beep, beep, beep?
I don't know. Don't ask me this. I'm not supposed to have more than the headline. Let's see. It's by the Amalgamated Flying Saucer Club of America. Their headquarters is in Los Angeles.
We got to get these guys on.
Yeah, let's see. Lexington, Kentucky has introduced a way to promote tourism, and they have beamed the message into space. I mean, of all the places that I would go, especially if I was coming from that far away, Kentucky, where I'd go. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it's
Kentucky?
a great place.
Really?
I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm sure there's stuff to do.
Are there banjos in those hills?
Are the aliens looking for gentle rolling hills, horse farms, and bourbon?
Maybe they're thirsty.
What they list.
Maybe they're thirsty.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe thinking about this, maybe this is the angle we need to take. Maybe this is the world that we need to promote and say, look at what we've got here.
Right. So aliens that are out there listening, watching, translating the show, if you do decide to rain down here on the U.S. of A., please stop in Kentucky, not Texas. Don't come here first.
Okay. I don't have an answer for your device. I do know it was sent on an infrared laser, so that's how it was beamed out. It was sent with FAA approval, and it did have a coded bitmap image. So apparently that's the key to it all. I'm not IT techie enough to explain why that was so important, but apparently it was.
Okay, what I want to hear is that call with the FFA or the FFA.
Yeah.
With the FAA.
That would
FAA.
be an interesting call. They're like, why are you asking me?
Yeah. I'm like, what? We're not farming up there. So the FFA, I did it again. The FAA. Who answered the phone at the FAA and was like, you want to do what? Send a message where? What are you doing?
Kentucky wants to send a picture.
He's like, yeah, sure, go ahead, whatever. Just do it. Send it to the spaceman.
Oh, okay. And I do, before we leave this story, here's a sentence. They say, the first thing you'll notice as you descend through the Earth's atmosphere above central Kentucky is the lush green countryside that surrounds Lexington's vibrant city center. That's our famous bluegrass. And that is how the message begins. So it's a tourism promotion. It's just a tourism ad that we're going a little further with.
I guess they're trying to get
the aliens.
I guess they're trying to get everyone else to go to Kentucky too. I don't know. Sounds like that time that Sweden had a hotline.
Sweden had a hotline?
Oh yeah. Sweden had a tourism hotline.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you weren't here the other day. Back in the old days, Sweden released a tourism hotline number, and wherever you were in the country, you had a certain number to call. Like,
okay.
It was like here it'd be 800 number to call. If you were somewhere else, it'd be a 00 whatever. And it was like, we're trying to get tourism to Sweden. Call this number. Talk to a random Sweden about their country.
Oh, so just like dials their house, like just a random Swede.
Yes.
Okay.
And so this story came out and was like, this can't be real. So for a month or two, every show we would call, and sometimes we'd get somebody.
Nice.
And it would be over there, I think it would be like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, whatever. And we'd get people on the phone sometimes, and they just there and talk to us, just whatever. Ask them where they were, what part of Sweden, and they would just talk to us.
I have so much homework from our show today. First I need to go watch Traders. Now I've got to look up this hotline to Sweden. That would go so wrong for America, though. If we put out a call a random American.
Yeah, don't call randomly here. Yeah, but yeah, and it was, and so we asked one of the people we got on the phone. We asked, and they said that yeah, for the tourism thing, that the people in Sweden, you could sign up for it. So if you want to be part of this program, you could sign up, and then randomly, whenever, you could get a phone call from anywhere.
And it also means that you have to put up with a call from Pepper Stewart at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of those. They're like, what? What is happening? Oh, yeah, okay. And they start talking to us, telling us.
Interesting.
But it was interesting. I've got one from old Tex doing his bit with the random Swedes that I'll play. I need to play it on. We need to do a little Tex segment one day with all his ridiculous bits that he did. That he didn't realize he was doing a bit, but they were bits anyway.
Yeah.
And God, it's hilarious, but it's not as funny as the riding a horse with a cow. The National Reined Cow Association, NRCHA, has added a bunch of money to the upcoming World's Greatest Horseman event that's going to take place over in Fort Worth in, I believe, February.
Yes, February 11th through 24th.
So they're going to be paying out $80,000 up for grabs in the preliminary rounds. The new go-around money in the prelims will now pay out $20,000 per event, nearly double the prize money from last year. It's largely due to the support of the National Rein Horse Association, the American Rope Horse Fraternity Association, and one-time Pepto, who is sponsoring the rein work, steer stopping, cow work. These winners of each event go take home $10,000, with second place paying $6,000 and third place paying $4,000. Add more money to those who excel in the cutting, reining, and roping portions, who have always wanted to enter the World's Greatest Horseman. So if you wanted to enter, I think today was the last day to enter. But if you're listening to me to find out when to enter, you haven't been paying attention because you should have done it already. Since 1999, this event has showcased the true versatility of the bridle horse and the cowboys and cowgirls who compete on them. 2024, they will crown the 25th champion of the World's Greatest Horse. Does that mean 1999 is 25 years ago? Is that what I just realized?
Their math can't be right.
Wow. So the World's Greatest Horseman, with the winner taking home a check for $150,000. The World's Greatest is conjunction with the Cow Power Quarter Horse Celebration of Champions, February 11th through 24th at Will Rogers Memorial Center in Fort Worth, Texas. Entries are open now, so get over and check it out. So that means that a lot of stuff is going on that entire 2 weeks. So the World's Greatest Horseman thing will be towards the end, but the shopping over there at the Will Rogers, they'll have all the shopping stuff set up, so you can go buy a bunch of stuff, go shopping, buy some clothes, buy some tack, buy whatever you want to. But if you want to see how exciting this can be, take a gander at this.